Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Let them score. In 1984, Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach John Wyche was fined $10,000 for his unsportsmanlike actions during the final game of the regular season. With the Bucs leading the Jets 41-14 in the fourth quarter, Wyche called for an onside kick in an attempt to get the ball back and give running back James Wilder a chance to break Eric Dickerson's single-season record for combined rushing and receiving yards. When New York recovered, Wyche ordered his defense to let the Jets score. The New York players were outraged, and the Jets attempted an onside kick of their own in hopes of denying Wilder a shot at the record. Tampa Bay recovered, but Wilder was tackled by Mark Gastineau in the game's final play, 16 yards shy of Dickerson's mark. Wyche, who resigned after the season, was fined $10,000. The Jets earned their revenge in the Meadowlands the following season, demolishing the Bucs 62-28.
Direct snap. They fake the toss. McCaffrey. Depends where they put it. What a play by...
Penalty for losing. Green Bay Packers head coach Vince Lombardi reportedly fined his players $100 for every day that they held out to help finance an end-of-season team party. But that was nothing compared to what one of his Packer predecessors did. In 1948, Green Bay head coach Curly Lambeau fined his team one-half of one game's salary for a poor showing in a 17-7 loss to Chicago that dropped the Packers to 2-2. One of the big reasons this situation exists is that the boys are getting good salaries and they're content, Lambeau said. For that reason, there's got to be a penalty for losing.
With a third.
Cousins on 2nd and 6. Zadarius Smith.
Jim McMahon uses his head. In 1985, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle fined Chicago Bears quarterback Jim McMahon $5,000 for wearing an Adidas headband in a playoff game against the Giants. McMahon wore the headband throughout the regular season, but the league had informed him that they would start enforcing the rule that prohibited players from promoting brands that weren't sponsors of the NFL during the playoffs. In the NFC Championship game the following week, McMahon wore a headband that read Rozelle. The commissioner reportedly laughed when he saw it. McMahon and the Bears went on to win the Super Bowl. Brian Urlacher's expensive hat. McMahon's fine was a drop in the bucket compared to the fine levied against another Chicago Bears star, linebacker Brian Urlacher, at Super Bowl Media Day in 2007. Urlacher was fined $100,000 for wearing a hat with the Vitamin Water logo. Gatorade, of course, is the NFL's official sports drink sponsor. The fine was especially hefty because of when and where his hat was worn. League officials said the same violation would have carried a $50,000 fine at the Pro Bowl and a $10,000 fine during the regular season. According to UniformViolation.com, an excellent database of uniform-related fines, Urlacher declined Vitamin Water's offer to pay the fine. The hat was later sold on eBay for $15,000. Patriots fined for sexual harassment. In 1990, the New England Patriots and 3 of the team's players were fined for their role in an alleged sexual harassment incident involving Boston Herald sports reporter Lisa Olson. According to reports, Patriots tight end Zeke Mowat smiled and purposely displayed himself to Olson in a suggestive way. Mowat was fined $12,500 and the team fined $25,000 to pay for an NFL instructional course on dealing with the media. Olsen filed a lawsuit against the Patriots, which was settled in 1992. She moved to Australia to get away from the threats and harassing phone calls that came in the aftermath of the incident, returning to the United States in 1998 and taking a position with the New York Daily News. Wyche docked for banning female reporters. A few weeks after Olsen made her allegations, Cincinnati Bengals head coach Sam Wyche banned a female reporter from entering the locker room after a loss. Wyche attempted to defend his decision by explaining that our guys don't want a woman to walk into a situation like that. The league wasn't having it. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue levied a $30,000 fine, which was the largest ever assessed to an NFL coach. Tagliabue also denied Wyche's proposed compromise to open the locker room to all reporters 20 minutes after the game ended, and then closing it for a period to allow players time to change. Don't be late. On September 26, 1976, the Minnesota Vikings were fined for arriving late to a game at Detroit's Pontiac Silverdome. According to the account of the incident in Black and Blue, a smash-mouth history of the NFL's roughest division, the Vikings team bus encountered some smash-mouth traffic en route to the stadium, and a trip that should have taken 5 minutes took much longer. As a result, the game started 22 minutes after its scheduled start time. Vikings head coach Bud Grant likes to arrive to the stadium 1 hour before game. A Vikings spokesman told reporters, "We always check with as many people as possible and with the bus company as to when they should leave the hotel. We've been doing this for 10 years, and this has never happened before."
Again, has some running room. Boom, past midfield into Bear territory, and what a run
Joe Namath misses curfew. Former Jets star quarterback Joe Namath was repeatedly fined for missing bed checks. A New York Times story that mentioned one such fine during training camp in 1975 included comments from New York's chief medical examiner about the effects of alcohol on player performance. Dr. Young Moon Rowe determined that athletes could remain impaired from drinking even 20 years after the fact. I would say to a football player, don't drink too much. I would say that's not because of alcoholic breath, but because there would be an impairment of skills, Rowe said. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.